What's up, everybody? Welcome to Dice House for the Assassin's Creed 3 commentary.
These are troubled times. The already uneasy alliance between the Crown and its subjects frays. And behind them both the Templars plot, pulling strings and moving pieces. History dictates they seek order through control. But how will they affect it here? Who supports them? And what conspiracies have they already spun? All these things I must determine. For only by knowing my enemy can I hope to stop them.
Connor, spare a moment.
Of course.
Have a look.
What is it?
Xingbao, or rope dart if you prefer. One of the many plans given to us by Xiao Yun to...
Sorry.
We'll have to work on this.
Ganondogo,
Yes, my friend.
what brings you here? Is the village all right?
For now.
What do you mean? What has happened?
Men came, claiming we had to leave. They said that the land was being sold, and that the Confederacy had consented. We sent an envoy, but they would not listen.
You must refuse!
We cannot oppose the Sachem, but you're right as well. We cannot give up our home.
Do you have a name? Do you know who is responsible?
He's called
William
William Johnson.
Where is Johnson now?
In Boston, making preparations for the sale.
Sale! This is theft!
Connor, take care. These men are powerful.
What would you have me do? I made a promise to my people.
If you insist upon this course of action, seek out Sam Adams in Boston. He'll be able to help. What have you done?
When my people go to war, a hatchet is buried into a post to signify its start. When the threat is ended, the hatchet is removed.
You could have used a tree.
So I'm going to skip ahead here. Obviously, this beginning sequence says when you can actually go around and do a lot of all the side mission stuff you want to do, if you want to do it. Or you can just skip ahead and continue on with the main missions.
Well, it certainly tops being at sea with North.
Ah, Connor. Hello again. What brings you to Boston?
You.
Would you excuse us, fellows? Thank you. That conversation was about to turn unpleasant.
As you see right here, the first
Now,
optional
what can I do
objective
for
is
you?
to remain
I was hoping you could
below
help me
notoriety
locate
level
William
2.
Johnson.
Of course. I'm headed to a meeting with
It's
some men
not
who should
overly
be able to
difficult,
help.
just don't get in any
Why don't you
fights.
come along?
I'll explain a little bit more about that as we continue here while they discuss.
It's good to see the people finally taking a stand against injustice.
Says the man who owns a slave.
Ooh, sorry? I practice what I preach, my friend. She's not a slave, but a freed woman, at least on paper. Men's minds are not so easily turned. It's a tragedy that for all our progress, still we cling to such barbarism.
Then speak out against it.
We must focus first on defending our rights. When this is done, we'll have the luxury of addressing these other matters.
You speak as though your condition is equal to that of the slaves. It is not.
Tell that to my neighbor who was compelled to quarter British troops, or to my friend whose store was closed because he displeased the...
Hey! It's my home, no matter what you thieves called taxmen say! If there comes in Parliament who want to take my property, you tell them to sail across the pond and take it themselves!
It's not open for discussion now. Open this door or these men will break it down.
Threw the chamber pot down at him. In case you know what a chamber pot is, that's what everybody peed in back then.
I trust the mounting evidence is proof enough, Connor.
Continue on. I shall meet you at our destination.
Okay, so obviously right here, you're going to get into a fight. Fortunately, though, there's not too many soldiers nearby here, so your notoriety is not going to go up too high. However, I highly recommend this be the only fight you take part in up until
You can't take what's not yours!
you get to your destination here to meet up with Sam Adams again.
Come on, you lot! Justice for once. I dare the governor to send more.
You all right?
I'm fine. It's not my first dance. For all their teeth and claws, these little foxes, they fight like puppies. Thank you, my friend. I'd buy you an ale, but I'm expecting somewhere else.
Okay, so we're going to continue on here. Obviously, now your notoriety is level 1. Obviously, it's in your best interest to avoid any soldiers, as you see right there, and try and either find a wanted poster or a town crier to bribe to get your notoriety back down. You just see right here up ahead here is a town crier, so we're gonna snoop around here and bribe him to get our notoriety back down to where we're incognito. Now you'll see along the way here opportunities to stop tax collectors. Obviously that's not something you want to do because one, there's going to be a lot of guys there, the tax collectors entourage. Two, there's almost always redcoats surrounding them. You hear one of the guys arguing about the East India Company. There's a tax collector right there. Highly recommend you don't try that one. Your notoriety will definitely hit too, fighting them.
Connor, I'd like you to meet some like-minded friends. The owner of this fine establishment, William Molyneux, and the manager and chef of his newest venture, Stéphane Chaffeau.
Ah, Connor and I just had a ball with some redcoats enforcing some taxmen outside my home.
The collectors grow bolder and more forceful. Something we must address, Samuel.
Then let us raise a banner. Something to let the people know that they are not alone. The docks are an angry place of late. Protesters picketing the latest shipments of British tea. The eyes of the city are upon that stage.
A Bostonian without his tea is a dangerous beast.
William Johnson is smuggling the tea off the ships. One of his men tried to sell me this. A sample of what I refused. But it's from those ships. No mistaking the stamp. He's charging a king's ransom. Must be he's making a mint off those who buy it.
Where is he now?
I've never met the man.
May I ask why you seek him, Connor?
He intends to purchase the land upon which my village stands, without the consent of my people.
No doubt the revenue from his little smuggling endeavor is financing the acquisition. A tax enforced on tea grants a boon to smugglers. I'll wager the same men who levy the taxes are selling the tea. A stage requires a spectacle, and I may know the play.
Now it's fairly obvious that
Connor, head back to the docks and see to the destruction of the tea. If you should need us, return here.
there's several things you need to do here. Obviously, though, one of the most important objective is you have to destroy 3 caches of smuggled cargo without by using explosive barrels. Okay, which we'll see here in a minute. Also, the other objective is to make sure you limit your use of your pistol to 6 times. If you go above 6, you're going to fail it. The way I do it right here, and now I'm going to show you, you're only going to have to do it 3 times. Use your pistol 3 times. And obviously, that's to destroy the caches with the explosive barrels. Obviously, though, you heard somebody complain about the East India Trading Company earlier. This takes place, I'm guessing, more likely after, in the time period right here, it just takes place after May of 1773. In May of 1773 is when the Tea Act was passed by Parliament to basically authorizing the East India Trading Company to ship its tea to the colonies, and it was more of an attempt to save the company because it was being taxed to oblivion basically, and the markets wasn't that great. This is the first barrel right here. You want to go around. There's a barrel sitting right there. It's close enough. Just go ahead and shoot it and then run off. If they keep chasing you, there's a hay wagon right there you can hide in. Here's the second one right here. You're going to run and jump up on this building right here. There's a better way of doing this, obviously, than what I'm going to show you here. But I'm going to be coming over this roof right here, and I'm going to jump up in this tree. I more than likely could have air assassinated at least one of these guys, if not both of them. Instead, I jumped down. I don't know why. I decided to fight them. But anyways, yeah, the Tea Act, it gave permission for the East India Trading Company to basically cut out the middleman and send its tea to the colonies. For trade. Well, the problem was that by the colonies agreeing to pay for the taxation on the British tea coming in, it would have basically set a precedent for the colonies saying that the Townsend Acts, which is what the British tea would have been sold under, basically would have legitimized Parliament's stance that it could tax the colonies without us having any representatives in Parliament. So that's why everybody was upset about tea. And then once you shoot out the things, loot some guards, get some cartridges back, and get some money. I'm horrible at that. But so Parliament saw this as a nice little trick and everything. All right, this part right here, I suggest that you pick up the far barrel and do this. You're gonna see why. You're gonna laugh at me. I almost had a heart attack at what happens here, but it's kind of funny. So that's why everybody was upset about the tea coming in. Everybody's protesting the British tea coming in because the colonies were actually buying Dutch tea that was being imported in, even though the British Parliament government considered that to be smuggling. And even though the Danish tea wasn't as good as the British tea was, a lot of patriots decided to drink the Danish one. See, that scared the crap out of me right there. That's why you use the further barrel than what I used. So, yeah, the Danish tea wasn't as good quality as the British tea, but the Patriots were drinking it anyways because they considered it kind of like a nice little, snub and protest of the British tea and the fact that, England was trying to tax us without us having any representatives in Parliament at the time. So you're going to go around now, and now you can dispose of these tax collectors. It doesn't matter how high your notoriety is done. You've already completed that objective. All right, you've taken out the 3 supply caches with explosive barrels. Now you just have to make sure you don't use your pistols too much. Here's a nice little human shield moment. Nice. But there's that. I mean, that's basically why everybody was upset about British tea and didn't want British tea back then, and why everybody was protesting against it is because of the Tea Act and how it would have legitimized the Townsend Act. Even though a lot of the things in the Townsend Act were repealed by then. I'm going to show you how to take care of an officer right here. Obviously, he's going to keep parrying and everything like that. You try and do a counter on him. It's not usually successful. So do a break defense on him with the X right there, and you'll take him out no problem. Then we're going to come up here, and you're going to see, well, we're going to bribe this guy first here, get ourselves back to incognito. I'm going to head back there and loot these guys, but we'll skip that part. Then we'll come up here, you're going to see on the mini-map right there is the location of a mission right here to liberate this sector of Boston. So you just come up here. I mean, you can assassinate these guys, no big deal. That'll take care of that part of the mission right there. I mean, I think you could probably just go up there and just beat them up, but I mean, just go up and assassinate them. It's no big deal. Rarely have ever had anybody react to that, because by the time the guy's down on the ground dead, I'm like long gone. So, you know, and once again, here we have some tax collectors we're going to take care of. Taking care of the tax collectors. I believe we have one more smuggler we need to go deal with. After, of course, I loot some bodies here for some money, because I have a level 1 notoriety right now, so I'm going to get my money off of them to go and pay this town crier off and get my notoriety back down to 0. Get myself incognito again. And then you just run up here, find another smuggler. You're going to sneak up behind him, slip your hidden blade into his back and kill him. Right there, and that's going to be it. So that's all the objectives for this portion of Sequence 5 for this mission on Johnson's Trail. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked the video, please do so by giving it a thumbs up. Let me know if you guys like these little historical facts I'm bringing to you. That's why it's taking me so long to get some of these videos out, because I'm doing a lot of research on them. But anyways, until next time, you guys all take care. Bye.